Hey, everybody, John Marshall for Oncology Unscripted. We are getting all ready to go to ASCO, and we thought it would be really interesting to talk to some people who are going to ASCO but have never been. I was thinking back, my first ASCO was in a year that started with 19, just to give you an idea, and it used to rotate around to different cities. Then at Chicago, same place, same bat channel every year for many, many years at this point. I was actually able to coerce some of our fellows who are making their first trip ever to ASCO to come on and for a quick interview, introduce themselves, give some thoughts about what they're anticipating. And then if they're nice enough, maybe we'll grab them after ASCO to see what they learned and what was different than what they were expecting. So listen in, folks, for what you might reflect back as to what you thought before you went to your first ASCO. Tina, introduce yourself and maybe give us one word of what's ringing around your head about what you're anticipating for ASCO.
Hi, I'm Tina. I'm one of the second year fellows at Georgetown, second year hematology oncology fellow. I did med school back in Scranton, Pennsylvania at Geisinger, and I did residency and now fellowship here. The one word that I think of is overwhelming because of how packed it is, the schedule.
That's a, I think that one's going to come true. That one's going to come true. Christian, introduce yourself. Give us your thought.
Yeah, so my name is Christian, and I am one of the hematology and oncology fellow here in Georgetown. And I did my med school in the Philippines, but did my residency in Illinois, and then end up in Georgetown for fellowship. And my thought for is something big is in ASCO. So
Good. I think big is, we'll feel that way for sure. And last but not least, Nikita.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nikita. I went to medical school in India and Castova Medical College, did my residency here in DC, and happy to be at Georgetown. I'm a first year HEMONC fellow. My word for ASCO, as I'm a baby fellow, I still like to think of, is just ready to get inspired, I guess.
That's awesome. And let me tell all of you out there listening, and these are three of the smartest people. It's such an honor to work with these folks who have dedicated their entire lives, and they know so much more than old people know. And I'm dependent upon them, and they're great partners for us. And they're nice enough to spit. They're actually, I snuck them out of somebody else's clinic right now to do this. So I'm in trouble with their current clinic mentors. But anyway, let's get right into it. Tina, let me pick on you first. When I first went to ASCO, I thought it was all about fun. I wanted a hotel with a good pool. In the range of fun versus work, where do you think this is going to be? What's your impression of what it's going to be?
I think it's going to be in the middle. Work because there's so many different events to go to. I've tried to make my schedule multiple times already, and I can't decide for some of the sessions which ones to even go to. So I think I'm going to even have to watch some like on demand after. And then there's a bunch of dinners planned already. I am planning on getting deep dish pizza. So I think it'll be fun too.
There is a lot of fun. There is booze involved at ASCO. Sleep is not one of the big things. Christian, work fun. Where are you in this balance here?
yeah, I think it's gonna be both basically because I'm graduating and going into a community practice. So I wanted to kind of soak in all the new stuff.
I want to come back to you maybe afterwards about the community practice piece because you'll notice just that there aren't many community practitioners who go to ASCO. But I do get a feel for that when you're there as you look at that because it becomes not worth it to community docs to go to ASCO, which is always and they go to best of ASCOs on a Saturday somewhere later. So I'd be interested in your feedback on that of the value that you see as a rising community practitioner in the future. Nikita, where are you? Work, fun?
I'm hoping it's more on the spectrum of fun for me. I'm hoping to, do like maybe meet some people, meet other fellows. Happy to just branch out, network in any way possible. I'm really excited to see more people do like oral presentations. I think it'll be really inspiring and it'll be a good way to get a sense of how people present their work in an effective way. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most.
One of my partners and good friends and one of your mentors, Dr. Isaacs, is giving a big oral presentation. Dr.
I'll be
Atkins is. So yeah, you got to show up for that and see what it's like, because it does make you nervous when you get up there in front of what is the largest room you will ever be in for a medical meeting. So get ready for that is one piece of it. Christian, let me pick on you. Have you thought about packing yet? Carry
No.
on? Are you going to check? I mean, it's what, 3-4 days, right? So what are you going to do?
Well, basically just gonna pack like same shirts, the pants, and the shoes, comfortable shoes for walking.
That is such a boy answer, isn't it? Let's talk. I'm a married man. I know about packing, that it's different by gender, although some boys are more about their packing than others. But ladies, have you thought about it? Comfortable shoes
I'm also
or heels? Let's start there.
I'm doing sneakers.
Sneakers.
definitely practical shoes.
Okay.
I also am going for a day extra because I have a lung cancer event to go to beforehand. So I actually have thought about how many outfits, and I think I might need to go shopping this weekend.
Yeah. So there are it's remarkable. Will wait to see what is going on this year is how dressed up people are. This is just a warning. Particularly when we see people from other countries, there's a lot of heels and to Christian's point, you put a lot of steps on, right? I mean, you one meeting to the next could be a quarter mile, in terms of just distances. So the practical shoes is a good piece of advice. Nikita, do you have have you already put it out on the bed? Know what you're going to take?
I'm probably just gonna need to pack maybe like a blazer or some layers because I know conference centers can get super cold.
Cold. It's totally true. It's totally true. And yeah, and you don't sleep, by the way, just so you know. So you party until late, and then you get up early because the next session that you really feel like you should go to is at 7:30. And by the way, you're going to be taking a bus with a bunch of other nerdy oncologists from downtown Chicago to the convention center, sipping coffee. Don't spill it on yourself because you had to be careful with your pack, right? These are just advice to go out there. It is a contact sport, ASCO. So you're also going to see for the first time, Nikita, I'll start with you. It's like we've all been to meetings where pharmaceutical companies display stuff, right? So I don't know if you've been to a big meeting before, but they have these halls where they have their booths and their maps, their actual maps. And so any idea about what that's going to be like?
I have absolutely zero clue what that's gonna be like. I'll probably see the, drug names that we use in clinic, and that'll be the extent of my excitement, but maybe it'll be different.
Others, have you been to one of these where you've seen these kind of huge booths?
I haven't seen huge pharmaceutical booths, but even some small ones can be pretty exciting. I'm expecting because I've heard about it, I'm expecting a lot, I think.
Christian, any thoughts?
Yeah, I have no idea yet. So
Well, one thing you'll notice, it'll freak you out, and you'll go, Dr. Marshall, the carpet is thicker. So they make fancier carpet to slow you down when you're on the booth. So that's one thing you'll notice. There are two sides, US and not US, because there are different rules around regulatory. And they hire people who are not real reps to stand on the corners to welcome you. So there's this big thing. The wildest booth I ever see, I bet interesting if our listeners might chime in. It was many years ago, and it was a medicine for dry mouth. And they literally had a fountain flowing through a sand desert in the middle of this booth. So when you all go, we always try to pick our favorite or maybe worst booth that you went to go see. So maybe when we follow up later, you share something with like, you were just like, whoa, that was something. All right, let's do something more important. Why we're really going. Where am I? Maybe I'm back to Tina. So what do you want to learn? What are you expecting to learn?
I I'm really excited about like the trainee and early career lounge because of meeting other mentors, meeting other fellows. So hoping to learn a little bit more about the job application process, see different people and different practices. I am also really excited to see what that interaction is between pharmaceutical companies, oncologists, what kind of atmosphere there is. So I think I'm kind of course, those big like plenary sessions, oral abstracts, I'm excited about like learning the nitty gritty about what's happening, but also just like that atmosphere and interaction between the different groups that are there.
Great answer. Christian?
Yeah, it's kind of same thing as how I can treat my patients, plenaries, and which are the new stuff that's comes out in the pipelines that are kind of groundbreaking.
Yeah. If it's in the plenary, it's positive. So that's one of the things you can pretty much bank on going forward. Nikita, what are you hoping to learn from all of this?
Yeah,
If you really wanted to be a surgeon. No, it's something different.
Never. Yeah, definitely similar to what Tina said about the early career and mentorship. As I'm going into second year, we have more research time. So hopefully trying to see, what could be feasible from my standpoint, get some ideas and just, again, big picture, get really inspired, hopefully.
Yeah. I think you'll be surprised by the number of people that you actually recognize. You'll cross paths, maybe, through your training at other institutions, or just you'll see people you recognize. And of course, when you're as old as I am, you recognize lots of people. I think so. That's one thing that is fun too, is that you connect to people that you don't see often or regularly. It is a time to connect. The internationalness of it is quite striking. So you will see people from all over the world. There are certain countries that do not allow, or we don't let them in, to be blunt. And so they will go to ESMO or other meetings so that you will notice the absence of certain people that maybe over time because their countries don't allow, or we don't allow their immigration in, but very much of an international feeling to it. And it's both exhilarating, I think, but it's exhausting too, because you are learning. There's a lot of new stuff you're drinking in. There is a lot of business that's transacted during the meeting and a lot of new data that's unloaded on us. And so what we then try to do is take this information as, say, just a GI specialist and try to integrate it into how does it affect treatment on the Wednesday when we get back on June 4th. So from there. So any last thoughts? Christian, you got a plane ticket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got a hotel?
Yeah.
Okay. Then those are the two most important things. Nikita, any thoughts?
What are you most looking forward to, Dr. Marshall?
Well, so my problem is that I'm overbooked. And so I which meeting will I actually go to? And will I actually go and see any data being presented? So I'm at a place where I almost never go into the posters or to the presentations because I got too much other stupid stuff going on in my world. It's an enjoyable event because so much, it is our community. It is a celebration of our community. It's an excitement. You all talked about being inspired and, reaffirming what you do. So you leave charged and ready to move on to your cancer. Thank you guys very, very much. I know you got to keep running. We'll get back together in a couple of weeks and see what you learned when you went to the 2025 ASCO. John Marshall for Oncology Unscripted. Talk to you all soon.